reaction.
Starting lineup for the Regina Red Sox. Leading off is today's Brewski's beer batter, number 9, Jalen Myers. Jalen Myers does not make a first base. Beers on sale 2 for 10 to get out beer bar on the first pitch and returns it back. Then second is number 27, shortstop, Jake Fowler. Hitting third, the center fielder, number 26, Ian Montz. In the cleanup spot for the Red Sox, the third baseman, number 2, Brady 5. The catcher is fifth, number 3, Daniel Castellanos. Hitting sixth is number 36, the right fielder, Alex Rue. Hitting seventh, left fielder, number 40, Wayne Krekowitz. Hitting eighth, first baseman, number 37, Derek Tipke. Hitting ninth, second baseman, number 6, Lance Anderson. And starting pitcher for the Regina Red Sox, number 58, David Hensley. Please welcome your umpires for today's game, as assigned by the Western Canadian Baseball League. For more information, visit westerncanadianbaseballleague.ca. At home plate is MJ Willis. At third base is Ron Shuchuk, who is our crew chief tonight. And at first base is Josh Braxton. We now invite the umpires and coaches to home plate for our home plate meeting. And now it's time for your Cloverdale Paint starting lineup. Hitting first, number 5, center field, Jason Avila. Hitting second, second baseman, number 13, Kita Fucino. Hitting third, first baseman, number 18, Brandon Dye. In the cleanup spot, the catcher, number 36, Red Hodgins. Hitting fifth, designated hitter, number 24, from Fort McMurray, Alberta, Lincoln Hugel. Hitting sixth, playing right fielder, number 19, Josh Fisher. Hitting seventh, left fielder, number 22, from Fort McMurray, Ethan Maya. Hitting eighth is the shortstop, number 2, from Fort McMurray, Miguel Tetra. Hitting ninth, number 17, the third baseman, Carson Young. And let's make some noise for our pitcher from Fort McMurray, Alberta, number 16, Michael Spack. The Fort McMurray Giants acknowledge that this game is being played on Treaty 8 territory, ancestral home of Creek Bennett, and the unceded territory of the Métis. As long as the sun shines, the rivers flow, and the grass grows, we will honor these lands. At this time, we would ask you to please Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in our must command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the eternal, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep the land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you. That's play on.
Hello and welcome to WCBL Baseball here on Flow Sports. I'm your play-by-play voice, Avery Lewis McDougall, filling in for the usual Graham Moisman here as Fort McMurray takes on Regina on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Fort McMurray. The Fort Mac Giants, 12-35, looking to avenge a loss yesterday against Regina. Regina comes into this game with a record of 19-24 last night. It was a pitcher's duel between Regina and Fort Mac. Regina getting the 1-0 victory. The Red Sox, the defending champions, have a lot to play for still as they look to push, as they continue to playoff push. While Fort Mac has been a tough year for the Giants as they look to try and hopefully gain some momentum to hopefully make themselves a late push. But things looking more towards next season for the Fort McMurray Giants as we get ready for first pitch on a wonderful Alberta afternoon. Hopefully, the storms didn't hit you too hard wherever you are if you're watching this game from Alberta. If we get underway here. And that is caught for the first out of the ball game. So early on, you're seeing the Regina bats trying to get on it. And for Fort Mac, I mentioned earlier in this ball game, a tough record in 2026 is trying to get some wins together, hopefully try and make a late playoff push in the WCBL standings. But this is a team with the eye more towards the 2027 campaign. Or Regina, the defending champions, want to get back to the postseason. Sorry, I was watching a bit of a mic issue on my end here. That's all resolved now. As that swung on, then that'll be foul. One out in the top of the first. Pitch on the way. Oh, man. I'm struggling here. And that's low. And a battle here with Michael Spazek and Ian Mont. Called strike one. Ball one. 1-1 the count here, one away. Really hard time. And that is a call. Oh, sorry. I'm so delayed. And that is swung on for a strike. Oh, what? This video's delayed. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. And we are back for the bottom of the first inning. Jason Avila up to bat for the Fort McMurray Giants. And that is fouled back. And Avila puts a drive into this one. And that is gone. Jason Avila with the homer to open the scoring up. It is 1-0 Fort Mac. Baseball, pack your bags. You are out of here. And that's what Fort Mac needed in this ball game early. Jump on some pitches, and they did just that. As Keita Fujito up now for Fort Mac. As let's see the Giants can keep the momentum going here in the bottom of the first. But that was a big swing for Fort Mac, a team just trying to string some wins together here late in the season in the WCBL. That's Vegeta. In a battle here in the count as a Vegeta. Trying to work things here with David Hessering on the mound. There's a hearty crowd in Fort Mac watching their ball club today. That's Vegeta. Stands in the box again. It's been a battle so far, and it's a bat. That's Vegeta. That's Vegeta. He'll take the walk and he'll hit the first base. So a runner on for the Giants. I'm sorry, my apologies. So then, Braden Dick up to bat for Fort Mac. As Vegeta got on second off a wild pitch. So runner on. Great chance for Ford Mac to try and add more in this ball game early. And that swung on for a strike. And as the Giants want to get to Hessling early and often in this ball game. Here's the pitch. That is put in play, but that'll be taken to the shortstop for the easy play at first base. As Red Hodgins up to bat now for Ford Mac. Behind in the count. 0-2. As Hessling trying to find the zone, having troubles here in this at bat. Have the pitchers count 0-2 and trying to get things under control here, and this is bad again. That pitch is fouled off. So 2 outs now for Ford Mac as Regina. Hessling starting to settle down here after that home run to Jason Avila to make it a 1-0 game. Lincoln Fulge at bat. As we are back, as we are back now in the top of the second. Fort McMurray still leading 1-0. Regina back up to bat. Daniel Castellanos up to bat for Regina. Michael Spazek back on the mound for Fort McMurray. And now we are back at the top of the second. Castellano steps in for Regina. And that ball I can barely see anything. Hard time trying to can't as Castellanos is out, and we have one out. In the top of the second, Rain Kesselwerks at bat as the Giants trying to keep the Regina bats in check early on. And there's a strike. So Michael Spazek early on. Michael Spazek holding things down for Fort Mac on the bump early. As that ball is driven deep. And that's going to bring a run home. And the runner will score. So a 1-1 ball game. As Kesselowitz with the single drives in a run. Does Derek Koepke up to bat. As the Regina Bats get to work here on top of the second inning. But Koepke unable to do more damage as Lance Anderson now steps into the batter's box for the Red Sox. That ball is driven high and deep. And that'll be a third out. So a 1-1 ball game heading into the bottom of the second inning. As the Red Sox strike back and get a run on the board.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers. We're back here at the bottom of the second. As the Giants look to respond here after Regina got that run on the board, that single, scored a run. And that pitch is fouled back deep into the stands, deep into the ocean blue. And there's a ball.
Right now, Keefe is trying to find the zone here again in this at bat. And oh, that one comes up and in. And as they always say in the game, take your base. So that'll put a runner on. So the first hit batter of the game results in a base runner for the Giants early. I mentioned earlier the ball getting way a bit out of the zone from Hensering, and right there you see it hitting a batter and putting a runner on here in the bottom of the second. As we got a little delay here for a second, momentarily. And we're back to it. Bunt is on, squeeze bunt. Back to the mound. As that ball gets away, as a bunt results in chaos. And you know what? Lay it down, and you never know what can happen. A little squeeze bunt results in chaos as the Giants get a runner on, and they get a run to score. 2-1 Fort Mac. Sometimes, kids, small ball is your best friend in life. As Carson Young up to bat now for the Fort Mac Giants. So we see a hit by pitch and throwing errors so far for Regina as things unraveling a little bit here for the Red Sox early. And that pitch is driven. And at the plate, plate to plate. And that looked close, y'all. And that looked close to the plate. As the fans expressed their displeasure at that play at the plate. So still a 2-1 ball game with runners now at first and second. As Jason Avila comes back up to the plate. And that bat is on fire, y'all. 1 for 1 with that dinger early on, open the scoring. Ball is high, 1-0 count. Out of the zone once again. So we're seeing right now the count in a favor of the hitter. And once again, location early on. Heslering struggling a bit here. So the base is juiced for Fort McMurray. Keita Fujino coming up with a chance to really blow things open up for Fort Mac. One swing of the bat, and this changes things in a major way for the Giants. First pitch ball of the at bat. Count even at 1-1. That ball is put in the air, and that is foul. And now it's caught for an out. That's 2 out. Braden Dick with a chance now. The base is juiced again. And for Regina, the goal here now, just get out of this jam here with 2 outs. First pitch strike. That is down and away. Ball 1. And that's put in the air but fouled off. That's Braden Dick. 0 for 1. And that is down and away. Ball 2. That's outside. 3-1 count. Oh. That is Stick will single. As that'll bring another run, Carson Young will score. Avila's second. As Fort Mac has blown things open early, 4-1. As the Giants bats with 2 outs have been stepping up here. As Red Hodgins steps in looking to add to that lead. Keep the train moving. Down the line. Pass it along. Smart at bats. The goal here for Fort Mac. And that'll do it for the bottom of the second. Fort McMurray leads 4-1. As Regina looks to get back into things in the top of the third.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
And we are back with the Regina Red Sox up to bat in the top of the third. Jalen Myers at the dish. But that's not an issue at all. As Jalen Myers goes right back to the dugout. Quick out for Fort McMurray. Fort Mac. As for Fort McMurray, 2 quick outs here to begin the top of the third with Ian Mons at bat. That's the first pitch. Called strike. As for the Giants, Michael Spack's been going to work. Sorry again for the tech issues here. As we're doing our best to battle through them here on Flow. And we are back with you here in the bottom of the third. Red Hodgins up to bat against David Henslering. And up at bat for the Fort Mac Giants, Josh Fisher. Fisher at the dish, looking to do some damage for the Fort McMurray. As Fort Mac looking to play spoiler in large part in Regina's season. But Fort Mac themselves, the chances of the playoffs, they're not great, but there's a slight chance if Fort Mac can get in a role of sneaking into a playoff spot potentially. But that chance isn't the greatest, but you never know. Things can certainly change late in the WCBL. That's Fisher in a battle at the dish. Now Fisher puts that in the air. And now it'll be foul. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Fisher strikes out swinging. A little too ahead of things there, but Fisher goes down and Ethan Mayuk steps up to the dish now with 2 outs and a runner on for Fort McMurray. Went down for that one. That'll be a strike. That's high and that's a ball. Ball 2. 2-1 count. There's no dice there, and that'll be 3 outs. And I'll do it for the 3rd inning. The 4th on the way as Fort Mac still leads 4-1 over Regina.
Yo, that's the one. You going?
Yes.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
ice or on our app. Always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
As we are back, as we are ready for the top of the fourth inning, Regina looking to get back into things. There's that pitch, a bit outside. Michael Svak against Alex Rue. As a runner on for the Regina Red Sox, as Castellanos got on, Alex Rue at bat now. So the Red Sox get a base runner on, trying to make some noise. As that's fouled away. That is also fouled away. So Rue fouling off the first two pitches he sees of the at-bat. Castellanos on second. As that's down. Deals and delivers. And that is also low again. So the count from 0-2 to 2-2 quickly here in this at bat. As that's taken for a ride, but that's foul. Throw digs in again. And he's rung up. Caught looking. For the first out of the inning. Ryan Kirklewitz will step in now to the box. opens up with a ball. That deal. And that's fouled back. As you can see, Castellan. That's Castellanos. He's going. And he's there with the stolen base. So Castellanos, with the jump, moves up 90 feet. And puts himself into scoring position. And I pitch a ground ball. As they'll turn one. As for Mac, they'll get the outs. So Castellanos advances, but Kirklewitz does advance the runner. So 2 outs with a runner on third base. As Derek Kipke steps up to the plate. As Regina looking to shave a run or two off here in this half inning. Is that ground ball? That ground ball finds first, and that'll do for the end of the top of the fourth. Fort McMurray still leads 4-1. As we are back with the bottom of the fourth. As the Giants look to add to their lead here. As that Jason Avila home run set them up for success early on. And that's driven deep. And now get a runner on. So once again, the Fort McMurray Giants, their bats finding ways to stay hot in this game. As Carson Young steps up and digs in. As he'll take that first pitch for a ball. Here's a pickoff attempt. As we see Hensling trying to catch the Giants sleeping, hoping a Giant is on first, taking a nap. But that's not the case. And the runner goes. There's a wild pitch. And Miguel Terrato will get the bag on the stolen base. So we're seeing Fort McMurray moving runners across the bag. And a runner in scoring position now. As Young puts down to play. But he'll ground out. But the runner will advance to third. So Young does his job and moves runners up. As Jason Avila, he steps up and in now. With nobody out, that's got to be a great feeling. As that first pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. And that's down 2-0. Three and no count. So Avila with house money right now, and this is bat, no outs, and a 3-0 count. Four and 0. So Avila will walk with runners on the corners for Fort McMurray. And Keita Fujito steps up now with a beautiful opportunity here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Is that Gunther's ring music? If you follow wrestling, maybe Fujito was a wrestling fan himself. As we see the, oh my apologies, the pitcher's meeting music. So, the Fort Mac Giants, you must love your wrestling because that is a great choice of music here at the ballpark. As the infield chopping it up, trying to figure out what should they do. As we get the pitching change here. As Colton Bank will now be on the mound for Regina to face Keita Fujino. As the Red Sox hope that Bank can calm things down here and stem the tide with Fujino coming up. Keita Fujino steps up and is ready. As the pickoff attempt at first is unsuccessful. So the Red Sox once again trying to catch a Giant napping. As that's a first pitch of the at-bat is a ball. As Bank deals. And that is ball 2. And Jason Avila on the strike gets the stolen base. So the runners move up again. And so the runners on second and third now with one out. So once again, the Giants threatening to add to their lead here in the bottom of the fourth. And that is low. As the Giant fans wind this count in their favor. As that is fouled off. So a full count. Keita Fujino, full count. And Fujino will walk. So again, Regina facing a bases loaded scenario early on. With only one out. As Braden Dick steps up now for Fort McMurray. That was a great chance here for Braden Dick to get things going or continue the hot push for Fort McMurray here in the 4th inning. As that pitch is low. So Dick will walk. And a run comes in to score. It is a 5-1 Fort McMurray ball game. As Red Hodgins 0 for 2, but what better way to shake off that tough start to the game than a quick base hit? As Fort McMurray fans would love to see that. As it'll be a mound visit for Regina, as Regina coaching staff trying to calm things down right now with Colton Bank. As the Giants right now, again, looking to stall or put a dent in the playoff run of the defending league champions. As there's a called strike. That ball's in the air. That's fouled back. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Again, the little technical difficulties, a little ahead of myself there with that sequence of events. And there's the called strike. And that is low for a ball. And that's low. And the Red Sox issue another walk, and another run will score for Fort McMurray. As it's now a 6-1 ball game. So walks once again a pain point for Regina. As Lincoln Fugel comes up to the dish. And still only one out in this half inning. As that first pitch is a ball. Once again, finding the zone for the Regina pitchers has been an issue this afternoon. As again, the Giants, Fort McMurray, taking advantage of the pitching struggles of the Red Sox in the bottom of the fourth. And that is another walk issued. It has been a parade to home plate and a parade of walks. As once again, that mound is getting pretty crowded for Regina. As it's a 7-1 ball game as Cato Fagino, he comes home. As we'll get another pitching change by the Red Sox. As Daniel Crabtree, the right-hander, he'll enter the ball game. And it's gotta be so frustrating for your pitching staff to know you have what it takes a zone to just struggle to find a zone like that. It's got to be just a pain if you're a pitcher on that Red Sox staff right now, as they look to sort things out here as the bottom of the fourth continues and continues and continues. As Crabtree warming up to try and stop the bleeding. As Josh Fisher, 0 for 1 today, will step up. Still only 1 out. First pitch, Reich. As Fisher puts a drive into this one, and there's a base hit as Dick will score. And it's an 8-1 game. And Ethan Mayuk, 0 for 1, trying to keep the party going. And once again, the bases are still loaded for Fort McMurray. That first pitch is a ball. And that's the strike to make it a 1-1 count. Two and one. That's a 2-2 count. So good hitter's eye to stay off of that one. And he'll go down. As Miguel Tetro comes up now for Fort McMurray. Tetro was 1 for 2 on the day. That first pitch is a ball. That's a strike on Tetro. As Tetro fouls that one off. As Tetro swings through that one. And that'll do it for that half inning. So Fort Mac explodes in that inning, in that half inning, as we head to the 5th, with the Giants up on the Red Sox 8-1.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers. And we are back as the Regina Red Sox look to get back into things. Lance Anderson at the dish, 0 for 1. As there the call striking Anderson. Oh, sorry. Ball 3. My apologies. As Anderson battling here in this count.
Anderson. Oh. Anderson goes down. Jalen Myers at bat now for Regina. Yes, Regina looking to get the bats hot here. And they'll get a runner on. As Jake Fowler will step up. As Spock puts the runner on. With one out in the top of the fifth. And we get a called strike here. And that's a quick up and down for Regina as the Giants will look to extend their lead once again. Up 8-1 here going into the bottom of the fifth inning. We're back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Carson Young at the dish for Fort McMurray. Young is 0 for 2 today. Going up against Daniel Crabtree. As Jason Avila up at bat for Fort Mac. Sorry again as we continue to battle through the technical issues on today's broadcast. But you know what happens? You power through. You do what you can. As Avila, he'll be out as Keita Fujita now up at the dish. What's going on here? All right, Regina in the bottom of the 5th. As the Giants look to keep things going here in this half inning. That's fouled away. As we'll head now to the top of the 6th inning. As Fort McMurray stays in control in this ball game, 8-1. As Mons will step up and in for Regina. As Mons digs in again. As Mons gets hit by the pitch. And Mons. That can't feel good. Mons will head to first base. It's Brady Bayou. Will look to move him over. And there's a check on first base. That's a ball. Just a little bit outside. And By gets a hold of this one. This could be trouble for Fort Mac. It will be. And By will get to second base. And Mons all the way to home. It's an 8-2 ball game. So Brady By steps up with the bat to cut a little bit of the Fort Mac lead down. Still work to do, but a positive sign for Regina. And up to the dish, Daniel Castellanos. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He has been feeling it. As that first pitch is a ball. That's ball 2 to Castellanos. And there's a called strike. Ball 3, a little bit outside. And low. As Castellanos fouls that one off. The count is full. Like your hands when you're shopping for some groceries. You know, you're coming out of the store, you don't have a cart, so your hands are just full, and the berries fall to the ground, and the apples fall to the ground. That kind of full. That's how full this count is. Fouls it off again. So we'll do this full counting over one more time or more. As that ball is hit in the air, and Castellanos will fly out. So Alex Rue will step up next for Regina. As Rue fouls the first pitch off. And there's a ground ball. Now the runner will advance. Oh, my ball will not advance. 2 outs, 1 runner on first base. Rain Kricklewitz, will step up. There's a strike. Swung through that again. 0-2 count. That's driven. And now single to left center, and Rue will advance. So a base hit. As the Regina bats show, there's still some life in them in this one. And the runners are on the corners at first and third, with 2 gone. So Derek Kipke with the chance here to chop away once again at the Fort McMurray lead. And that first pitch will fly out and they'll end the inning. So the half inning. So we'll head to the 7th. So the Fort McMurray Giants lead 8-2 as we'll take another commercial break at the end of this half inning.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
And we are back in the bottom of the sixth. As Braden Dyke with a chance here to, again, extend that Fort McMurray lead. First pitch of the ball. Two-0 count on Dyke. With Michael Bizier now on the bump for Regina. That's fouled away. Oh, that's in the air. And that'll be the first out for the Giants. As Red Hodgin steps up now for the Giants. Yeah, his first pitch swinging on that one. And that'll be an easy out. So a quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Lincoln Fugel up now for Fort Mac. Now there's a strike one. As Fugel gets on. As Josh Fisher will step up. That first pitch of the Fisher puts that in the air, but that'll be an easy one for the Red Sox. As that'll do it for the 6th inning. We head to the top of the 7th with Fort McMurray still in firm control, up 8-2.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
And we are back as Lance Anderson trying to do some damage here, as Nico George is now on the mound for Fort McMurray in relief. That first pitch is ball 1. That fouled off. That's put in play, and that'll be an easy out at first. As Jalen Myers steps up to the dish now for Regina. A tough day from Myers. He's gone 0 for 2 in the afternoon. And Myers, first pitch swinging. As Myers will get himself aboard with a single. As Jake Fowler now steps up for the Red Sox here in the top of the 7th with 1 out. And Fowler also 0 for 2 in the day. Let's see if he can change his fortunes with this at bat. As it's 0-1, the count early. Ball 1. 1-1 count. As Fowler, he'll foul that one off. 1-2. As Fowler calls time. There's a ground ball. And there's one out. But the runner will advance, Myers. So a runner in scoring position for Regina. As Ian Mons will step up to the dish. First pitch is a ball. And ball 2. As that ball is lifted. And that'll do it for that half inning. As once again, the Regina bats shut down. It's still 8-2 as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
And we are back. Bottom of the 7th. The Fort McMurray Giants up 8-2 as Ethan Mayock is at the dish. Tough day for him. Over 2 at the plate so far. As he'll foul that one off after taking a ball. As Mayock looks to get his bat active to extend the Giants' lead. If that ball is high, so a runner on to begin the bottom of the 7th. Miguel Tetro up. He's 1 for 3 in the day. Miguel Tetro will take that one. For a ball. As Tetro fouls that one back. Count is 1-1. And ball 2. Ball 3. Count to Tetro is 3-1. Tetro fouls that one back. Full count. As Mayock is going, Tetro strikes out, but they get a stolen base in the process. So the runner moves up 90 feet. As Carson Young will step to the dish, hoping to shake off some of that juju on his bat. So far, he's 0 for 3 in the day. As Carson Young looks to bring the runner home. As there'll be a mound visit. As the Red Sox want to talk things over and figure out what do they got to do to get to Young here at this at bat. And there's a base hit. Carson Young is on. Mayo coming around third. And he will score. So whatever Carson Young told his bat, it works. It's a 9-2 ball game. As Jason Avila, the man who went deep in this ball game, will step up once again with a 7-run lead to play with. Now as Regina makes another coaching visit to the mound to try and sort things out again and again. How to attack Jason Avila in this game. Sorry, as our picture froze for a second. We try to, again, keep working through the tech issues here on this broadcast tonight. Yes, the crowd, very lively in Fort McMurray, Alberta. As Avila gets a hold of one, and another run will score. As Jason Avila doubles down the left field line, Young scores, and it's a 10-2 lead. And Keita Fujito coming up, another guy who could use it, another guy who would love a hit today in a 10-2 ball game. Fujino 0 for 2 so far to dish. And still 1 out. And Fujino takes that for a ball. As Regina gets a hold of that one.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.